திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணிசேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். உலகலாம் உணர்ந்துவதற்கரியவன் நிலவுலாவிய நீர்மலி வேணியன் அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்தாடுவான் மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவாம். திருச்சிற்றம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனையே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துரையந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் பெண்ணுரு ஆனாய் போற்றி, பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரனே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலையம் அண்ணா போற்றி, கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக பெரிய புராணத்தை ஆங்கிலத்திலே நாம் தொடர்ந்து செய்து வருகின்ற ஞான வேள்வியில் இந்த வாரம் நாம் அறிவாழ்த்தாய நாயனாரை பற்றி சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. This program is being sponsored by our beloved Qatar couple, Mr. Saravanan and Mrs. Saravanan. Both of them are very keen in presenting Periya Puranam in English, in simple English, so that people who are not well versed with the Tamil may be able to appreciate the devotees of Saivam. See, anybody who applies the holy ash on his forehead should be aware of the mentors of Saivam and also the 63 disciples, devotees of Saivam in Tamil Nadu. See, in Tamil Nadu, if anybody goes to a Shiva temple and if he says that he stands in the Saivat way, then he must be aware of the Periya Puranam, Devaram, Tiruvasakam. Then only he can claim to be a Saivat, because the Saivam in the 7th century, it has been brought to life only by our mentors Thiriyana Sambandar, Tirunavukarasar, Sundaramurti Swamigal and Manivasakar. All of them strived very hard to bring back the life to Saivam. See, people were not well versed with the principles and postulates of Saivam. So, Saivam has the unique postulates, unique the way of reaching the Shivam. So, when somebody says that I am a disciple of Lord Shiva, then he must be knowing the mentors, the four mentors, four gurumars, four gurus, Thiriyana Sambandar, Tirunavukarasar, Sundarar, Manikavasakar. Of them, Thiriyana Sambandar, Tirunavukarasar, Sundarar, they come in under Nayanmars. There are altogether 63 Nayanmars who have been enlisted by our Sundaramurti Swamigal. And these 63 Nayanmars, how they have sacrificed their entire life for the love of Lord Shiva. They know nothing but to express their sincerity, love to Lord Shiva. So, anybody in Tamil Nadu who goes to temple should be aware of the services rendered by not only these three, Thiriyana Sambandar, Tirunavukarasar, Sundarar, but also the other Nayanmars. These three come under the 63 Nayanmars. Or the other Nayanmars also, one should be aware of it. One should be knowing the basic details of each and every Nayanmar. How they rendered their love to Lord Shiva, how they lived, how they showed their love to Lord Shiva, how they stood firmly in their principles. All these details are elaborately discussed by our Deiva Chekkadar, who wrote Periya Puranam. As a matter of fact, Sundaramurti Swamigal offered one Padiham, Tiruttonda Togai, in which he listed all the 63 Nayanmars namesake. Of course, he had given the very little details about the Nayanmar. Of course, he had listed them in Tiruttonda Togai. Only out of Tiruttonda Togai, Deva Chekkadar elaborated, and he also took the help of Nambi, who sang about one song for each Nayanmar. Instead of one line by Sundaramurti Swamigal, he sang one song for each Nayanmar and two songs for some special Nayanmars, of course. So, taking into account the songs of Nambi and also the sonnet Tiruttonda Togai, Deiva Chekkadar elaborated the maximum possible details he gave about the Nayanmars. So, we have been discussing throughout these episodes in this under this Periya Puranam heading. We have been discussing so many Nayanmars, and one should be knowing that if at all we show love to Lord Shiva, we must have a principle, we must have a policy, either simple policy or a simple principle we must be having. We should not show our bhakti by whatever way we want. Of course, that liberty has been given. One can show his love to Lord Shiva in whatever possible manner, but there should be a principle by the person who is showing love to Lord Shiva. So, if we go through the details or go through the histories of all the Nayanmars, we will come to the conclusion that each and every Nayanmar had his own principle and policy. Without sacrificing the policy, the principle, they lived throughout their life without making any compromise for their love to Lord Shiva. Either you can perform puja, or you can feed Shivanadiyars, or you can offer garlands, flowers to the temple, or you can do service to the temple, or you can do any service to the Shivanadiyars. Likewise, it is up to you, whichever you think is feasible, and at the same time, if you choose that, you should not sacrifice it or abandon in the middle. You must continue it till your last breath. That was the idea preached by the Nayanmars, that we must be able to understand and appreciate. Likewise, we have discussed some Nayanmars. Why we called Nayanmars Nayanar? What do you call Nayanar? Means Nayanar is a headship awarded, Nayanar. So these devotees are called Nayanars because we have to follow them. We have to study their contributions, study their principles, study their way of life, study their behavior in crisis. All these things we must take, we must extract information from their life, and we must be trying to adopt them in our life also to the maximum level, or at least to the minimum level, I can say. Nobody can say, people used to say, we are not Nayanmars, we cannot live like them. People used to say, okay, we need not live up to their standard, but we can just take the principles, one or two principles, and we can attach importance to the principles, and we can try to lead our life at least to satisfy the basic requirements of Saivam. For example, you should not leave away the custom of applying holy ash on your forehead, uttering the mantra of a five-lettered mantra, Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah, and rendering service to the temple in whatever possible way, gathering flowers or getting flowers for the deity in the temple, or for contributing to the Abhishekam. Likewise, you can, without expecting anything, that is very important, not in return, expecting anything in return, give anything, give away anything, show your love unconditionally. That is very important. So whenever we show love to Lord Shiva, it should be unconditional. Unconditional love. There should not be any reason for our showing love. Just I want to show my love. I am in affection with Lord Shiva. That is why I am showing my love. That should be the attitude. That should be the attitude. Today we are going to see one Nayanar known as Arivattaya Nayanar. Even though it is Arivattaya Nayanar, it has to be split into two words, Arivattaya Nayanar. Arivattaya Nayanar. So his name, original name is Tayanar. Tayanar. It is his name. Why the Arival is added to his name, original name? That should be why it is prefixed to him, his name. That we will discuss. Only at the end of the episode, you will be able to appreciate why it has been added to his name, and all devotees are delighted to call him as, instead of Tayanar, Arivattaya Nayanar. Kanamangalam is a town in Chola province, Kanamangalam. And as is the nature of hamlets situated in the delta region, here also you can see the whole town is surrounded by beautiful paddy fields and sugarcane fields, and also groves. It is so flourishing, and the entire town has been occupied by farmers. Farmers, the main is agriculture, main work or main profession, main occupation of the inhabitants of the town is farming, agriculture. Because of the flow of heavy flow of water, no scarcity for water, and the fields are flourishing like anything. In the farmer family, our Nayanar was one of the farmers, Tayan. Nayanar, his name was Tayan, Tayanar. The R is given for respect. For respect, R is added to the name. Tayan is the name, R is added to give the respect to the name. Tayanar. Tayanar was also a very rich farmer. he owned fields and groves. He was cultivating a special paddy known as sennel. It is known as sennel. It's a special costly paddy type variety, paddy variety. And also he used to grow greens known as sengirai. Sengirai. See, if you cook the sengirai, it will be a very beautiful side dish, a very tasty side dish, out of which people will be doing the sengirai. He would be growing sengirai, and also he had mango groves. He had mango groves. So what he will do, he will every day he will go to the Shivan temple in Kanamangalam. In Kanamangalam. People used to show their love to Lord Shiva in different ways. Some people sing songs in front of him, in the presence of Lord Shiva in front of him. Some people used to sing beautiful songs. Some people will be interested to composing songs and offering the songs to him. Some people will be interested. It depends upon the competency. Some people will be people who are well versed in music. They will be offering their love in the form of music. They will sing songs for hours together in front of Lord Shiva and offering them. Some people will compose songs and they will recite in the presence of Lord Shiva, showing their affection for him, showing their affection for him. Some people gather garlands, gather flowers, and they will make garlands, and they will adorn, they will decorate the deity with all sorts of flowers, fragrant flowers. They will put garlands and they will do archana, they will be very much interested in garlands. For example, we have seen one Nayanar, Kunguliya Kalaya Nayanar. He will be very much interested in showing the scented sambrani. Scented, it will be like powder. It will produce a scented smoke. He thinks that Lord Shiva will love it. So, as his contribution, he was offering the Kunguliyam, which is very costly even now. The Kunguliyam is a costly one, but he would never mind, even though he a poor Brahmin, he will never mind in purchasing it and offering the fumes, the smoke to Lord Shiva. So some people will be interested in this. Some people will be interested in Abhishekam, in bathing Lord Shiva with milk, with ghee, with curd, all these things, with water, with turmeric powder and other special powders, all these things, they will be very much interested in making Abhishekam. It's called Abhishekam. We should not call as bathing. As a matter of fact, if it is human, we can call it as bathing. But it is for Lord, it is called Abhishekam. They will be very much interested in doing Abhishekam. Lord Shiva is also called Abhisheka Priya. So some devotees will be very much interested in doing that. Arivattaya Nayanar, he would be very much interested in offering the Naivedyam to Lord Shiva. He is very much interested in Naivedyam. That is, he will take the sennal, cooked sennal, properly husked and cooked sennal, the cooked rice, and then cooked sengirai. And also he will take the small mango pieces in the pickle form, salted mango piece, salted mango. He thinks that Lord Shiva will love it. So every day, every blessed day, he will take all these things, go to temple, and he will also take some milk, curd, ghee, and other water, all those things, and he will do abhishekam and offer this naivedyam to Lord Shiva. Then when Lord Shiva has accepted it, he will distribute it to the adiyars. He will adiyars. Every day he thinks that Lord Shiva accepts his prasadam, his naivedyam. So he was very keen in taking these things to the temple for his prayer every blessed day. So what he will do is, he will take his wife. The wife will carry the panchagavyam. Panchagavyam means ghee, that is 5 things obtained from cow. That is called the panchagavyam, including milk, curd, ghee, all these things they will be taking, his wife will be taking. He would be taking sennal, sengirai, mavadu. Mavadu, salted mango, sengirai, greens, sennal, paddy. It's a special variety of paddy. So he would be very much delighted. So to feed Lord Shiva every blessed day in the midday, and he will offer it. And what he will do is, he will feed the adiyars with the offering of this thing. Likewise, the days were moving, but people thought they have taken very lightly the love of Nayanar. Nayanar, of course, every day he goes to the temple, shows his love. He will never go away from the town, because he thinks that if I go away from the town, who will feed my Lord Shiva? He will be starving. So I have to go every day and feed him. So he will never leave the town. He will be always in the town. He will be visiting the temple every blessed day and offering these sennal, sengire and mavadu. You just think of it. But people took it very lightly. Oh, he is a rich farmer. That is why he is offering rich sennal. That is why he is offering sengire. All these things. He is able to do it. He is capable of doing it. He is doing. People started thinking. But God only knows the intensity of the love shown by the Nayanar. How much is valuable and how much is potential the love of Nayanar. God only knows. See, I may show love, you may show love, somebody else may show love. Who is to gauge the love? Can I gauge the love of somebody else? Can I measure the love of somebody else and say that his love is more than that love? No, nobody is competent to take such measures and attributes. Nobody is competent to measure the love of one showing to Lord Shiva. So he only knows. He only knows. That is why Manivasagar says, Nan Thanak Anbinme Nanum Dhanam Arivom. Manivasagar says, you have seen the love of Lord Kannappa, the great Kannappa's love, you have tasted. You have tasted the love of our Kannappa. When can we stand near him? Can our love can come near to the love of Kannappan? But you are still accepting our love also. You are accepting the love of Kannappan. You are accepting the love of ours. It is because of your mercy, not because of the intensity of our love. It is because of your mercy you are accepting our love. That's how Manivasagar says. So people used to take very lightly the love of Nayanar, but God knows the intensity, the value, the real thing about the love of Nayanar. So God won't stop there. He will reward and take away the Nayanar. That would have happened, but he wanted to show the people the love of our Nayanar. That is how the Almighty will behave. The Almighty will definitely come into the picture, and he will take all measures to make the people understand how much love and what is the real volume of love Nayanar is having. So that is why God has decided to teach this world the real love of our Nayanar. So what he did was he started shrinking the wealth of Nayanar. So the Nayanar's wealth was starting dwindling. It got reduced, and he was compelled to sell his lands, sell his paddy fields. He was having so many paddy fields, but because of his poor status, he started selling all his paddy fields. Even though he sold his paddy fields, he never abandoned, gave up his usual practice of visiting the temple and offering this Sennal, Sengiri and Mavadu. The menu didn't get reduced. He offered the same thing every blessed day. He was very keen to offer these things to Lord Shiva without fail, without break. So without minding his difficulties, without minding his shortcomings, he continued his visiting to the temple and offering the Nevedyam to Lord Shiva. One day it so happened that all wealth was lost. He was compelled to go to others' fields and work as a laborer. See, people will not be in the town itself. People who are living very rich in some town, some or other, if they got poverty, if they become poor, they will not be there. They will leave the town and go away, because they cannot live before the people before whom they have lived very nicely. So they will be feeling it shy and ashamed of living in the same town. So they would be leaving the town. It is the usual custom of our people. But here what our Nayanar did, he didn't leave, because he cannot leave Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva he cannot leave. Who will feed him? See, think of the attitude of the Nayanar. Think of the attitude of Nayanar. Nayanar didn't think that he is the Almighty. He is the Almighty. He owns everything. He will not have starvation. He will not be hungry. He is feeding everybody. No, not like that. Not like that. Nayanar's idea to feed Lord Shiva with the basic things, Sennal, Seggirai, Mavadu. So he never went back in his duty. He didn't think that I have become poor. When I was rich, I did everything. Now I had become poor. Why should I go out now and do all these things as before? So we will leave this. We will just go to temple and give him some rice, and we will stop there. No, Nayanar did do that. So he was compelled to work as a laborer. He chose the field where he had to work, because he chose the fields where Sennal was cultivated, because he wanted Sennal as his wages. He was very keen in offering Lord Shiva only Sennal. My Lord Shiva will not take inferior quality. He has to be fed. He has to be fed only by Sennal, the special quality of rice. So he made up his mind to go to fields where the Sennal was cultivated, where Sennal was being in the farm. So he chose the farms where Sennal is being harvested. He would be going there, and he would be getting as his wages this Sennal. He would be managing to get Sengirai and Mavadu. Out of the wages, Sennal, out of the wages, he would be cooking. He would be cooking the major part for Lord Shiva, and he would be exchanging it for ordinary rice for them to be fed. Because he and his wife have to be fed, isn't it? So what he did was he parted with a little quantity of Sennal for a low quality paddy, and he husked and he fed to himself. He fed to himself and his wife. The things were going like that, but things were not going nicely because of Lord has decided to bring out his real fame. So the paddy fields which harvested Sennal, they gave only very low wages. They started giving low wages. So with the wages the Sennal got would be sufficient enough only for Lord Shiva. There is no other part to be exchanged for ordinary paddy. So they didn't get paddy, they didn't get rice, they were not able to feed themselves. As a matter of fact, he saw to it, he was very keen to feed Lord Shiva at the cost of his feed, at the cost of his food. Both he and his wife were only drinking water to quench their hunger. They would be cooking Sennal, the wages. They will not cook Sennal and they will not feed to them themselves, but Sennal is designated, is earmarked only for Lord Shiva. So what they did was they cooked Sennal and took it to Lord Shiva every blessed day with Sengirai and this Mavud. You may be asking with small doubt, sir, he is taking Sennal, Sengirai, Mavud, he is offering prayer, and he can take after the puja is over. He can take, isn't it, after the puja is over. But he will not do it as I already told you, he would be feeding the Sivanadiyars with that. He wouldn't be taking anything. This is earmarked, this is meant only for Lord Shiva, and after Lord Shiva, it will be distributed to Sivanadiyars. So people will be waiting for the feed. People started wondering about the bhakti of Nayanar. Oh my God, what a love he is having. He was suffering so much without wealth, and he was working in others' fields, and even then he was trying to get only Sennal, and he was offering the Sennal only to Lord Shiva. He was not feeding himself and his wife. So what a love he was having. People started wondering about his bhakti and they were praising him. But he didn't care about all those things. He didn't do it for the praise of other people. For the praise of other people he didn't do. So the routine continued every day without food. Both of them were becoming very, very weak. Very weak. And that too, Nayanar was becoming very weak. Nayanar was becoming very weak. It is because he has to do work in the paddy fields also. He had to work in the paddy fields. He had to get the wages as Sennal, and but no feed for him. So, without saying, we can come to the conclusion that both of them were very weak physically. Of course, mentally they were very stubborn. Both he and his wife were very keen in feeding Lord Shiva till the last breath. I am living, my God should not starve. I am alive, my God should not starve. Till the day I am alive, until I am dead, there should not be starvation of my Lord Shiva. So, Nayanar was continuing even without food for him and his wife. They became very weak. One day, as usual, Nayanar was carrying in the basket cooked Sennal rice, cooked Shengirai, and salted mango pieces. Mahavadu, it will be very tasty. Mahavadu, he was carrying in the basket and he was carrying on his head. His wife was carrying small cups of curd, ghee, and milk. All these things, small cups put in a small pot, and she was carrying it in her waist, catching hold of it by one hand and closing it with the other hand. Both of them were proceeding to the temple. Both of them were proceeding to the temple. When they were about to reach, Nayanar suddenly was becoming very weak. He was becoming very, very weak, and he swooned. He was about to fall on the ground. Seeing him falling because of his weakness, his wife tried to catch hold of him before he was falling to the ground. She was catch holding. She was able to catch hold of him, but the basket on his head fell down. She was not able to save the basket. The moment the basket fell on the ground, all the rice, kirai, and mavadu, they all fell into the cleavages, the crevices of the land. Pilavu, crevices of the land, cleavages, the cracks on the land fell into the ground. Everything became muddy also. Nayanar one moment he was able to understand what has happened. He was very much upset, very much upset. And he reproached himself for the mischief. And running tears were on his cheeks. He was crying. Oh, what I have done. What I have done. Small thing for my Lord. I am just carrying the food for my Lord. I am not able to give the small food to my Lord Shiva. What is my bhakti? He was crying, uttering all these things, and the tears were running down on his cheeks from his eyes. And suddenly he was taken aback by remorse. That is, he didn't know what to do at that moment. There is nothing to be taken to the temple. There was nothing. The food has got spoiled. The mango pieces, they also went into the crevices. Seeing it was scattered over all the ground, and there is nothing to be taken to a temple. He was upset. Immediately he decided to take his life off. That would be the attitude of the Nayanars. See, when they follow a principle, they live for it. They will not compromise it for anything else, even for life, they will not compromise. They will even sacrifice their lives, their soul, for the implementation of the principle. He was keen in feeding Lord Shiva every blessed day. He was carrying it, but unexpectedly fell down on the ground, and before he fell down, the whole basket fell on the ground and everything got spoiled. So he was not able to feed the Lord Shiva. He was not able to he cannot collect them, or they all became muddy, and they all became very this thing that nobody can take that, gather it to take to the temple. So it is time up. Now definitely Lord Shiva will be put into hard starvation. That's what he thought. Lord Shiva would be put into starvation. If he didn't go to the temple, then what he will do? Who will feed him? Not only that, 7 will be expecting him. There will be so many 7 they will be very eagerly awaiting to receive him. So he decided to give away his life. I don't want to live. When I am not able to fulfill my principle, when I am not able to fulfill even a small thing of feeding Lord Shiva, why should I live? He was always carrying a sickle. Farmers even now, if you go to villages, you can witness that they would be carrying always a sickle. It will be a curved hackle, a sickle. They will be using it for harvesting in the fields. So he was having it. He immediately took it. His wife was not able to convince him, or was not able to tell him anything. She was bewildered, and she was blinking and standing over there. Before she was able to do anything, the Nayanar took the sickle in his hand, and he was putting it on his neck. and he was trying to cut it. There was wound and blood started oozing. Immediately at that moment, a sound was heard. Vidal. Devachekudar has uttered this sound, Vidal. Vidal means the sound created by biting the mango pickle. If you bite the mango pickle, the small mango, salted mango, it will be very hard, and if you bite it, a sound will be heard. Vital. That sound was heard from the crevices. Nayanar was astonished. This was a sound. He can understand that Lord Shiva is chewing the mango, and also he was tasting the channel here. So he immediately understood Lord has accepted the feed from the crevices itself. Immediately what happened? A hand protruded from the crevices and it caught hold of the hand of Nayanar. It caught hold of the hand, and Nayanar just felt that his hand was caught, and at the same time he felt the wound was healed, and the next moment he witnessed Lord Shiva with his consort on the bull Vahana. He was able to see. By the side of him, the wife was also able to worship, make darshan. He was overwhelmed. Nayanar was very much pleased, and he was praising Lord Shiva. Oh my Lord Shiva, how to measure your love? Who can measure your love? Victory to love, who despite knowing how ignorant the slave was, came down to take his offering of food from the cracks in the soil. So how much mercy the Lord should be having to take the feed where it fell down actually. He came over there, he took it from the mud and he tasted it. It is only because of the love the immeasurable love he was having for his adiyas. So Nayanar was wondering how to measure your love. You came all along from the temple here because of me, and to convince me, you tasted it and made me to understand that. Your love is immeasurable, and I don't deserve for that love at all. I am not deserving for that love at all. You, my Lord, you were mercy enough. You were so merciful to show your love to this poor man. That was so many praisings he was making to Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva told, oh Nayanar, what you have done is very nice. You have done your duty very nice. Every day I was expecting your Senal, Sengirai and Mavud every day. Since today it was delayed, I came over to your spot. So I tasted every day your love. It is immeasurable. Your love to me is also immeasurable. I tasted it. Now you have done very nicely. You and your wife will join me in my world, Sivalo. Both of you can come to my world and live there happily. And he gave them the salvation. So the Nayanar didn't expect that would happen, but the right time when it comes, Lord Shiva never failed to reward his disciple. We need not think that whether he knows our love, whether he knows our this thing, all these things we need not be worrying about it. We have to be executing our duties. He knows everything. The right time he knows, the right instant he knows, and at that time he comes and acknowledges the love of the disciples. Here, Nayanar, because of his the mischief, he thought that only, he reproached himself that because of him only this has happened, and he tried to cut his neck with Arival. That is why he was called Arivattaya Nayanar. From that time, all the devotees started calling him Arivattaya Nayanar, because he used the sickle to cut his neck on seeing his failure of duty to feed Lord Shiva. So let us do a small duty, and without expecting anything out of it, let us continue to do the duty for Lord Shiva, only for his love, only out of his love. That is the preaching we get from Arivattaya Nayanar, and with this we just conclude this beautiful episode, and we are able to derive so many lessons out of his history. And Arivattaya Nayanar is to be praised for his love, even amidst his poverty. See, it is very important. See, whatever you do to your capacity, but don't abandon it or give it up in the middle. You continue it till your last breath. Do it. That is how our love should be shown to Lord Shiva. So with this, I am just concluding Arivattaya Nayanar. In the next episode, we can go ahead with Anaya Nayanar. That is on 31st. We are going to have our next session, English session. I am requesting you to visit our Facebook, our website. There are so many informations for you. You will be updated. You can also go to our YouTube. There are so many uploadings. You can just witness all those things. Yeah, I also request you to subscribe to Jnanathiral. Jnanathiral, every month, it is a monthly magazine. It is being read by all the celebrities, and so many Saivites are very fond of our magazine. So you also contribute. Suppose if you are already a subscriber, you just subscribe for your kith and kin. It will be very useful for them to know about our Tirumurais. And also I request you that you can sponsor some of the articles in Jnanathiral. That also you can do. With this, I am just finishing this episode. Now I will be uttering 5-lettered mantra 5 times. I request you to follow me. Tiruchitrambalam. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Tiruchitrambalam. I have to thank once again the Qatar couple, Mrs. Saravanan and Mr. Saravanan, both of them. They were very keen in continuing these English episodes. They only motivated this program. so that they thought that people who were not well versed in Tamil, they would be able to appreciate our Nayanmars, their stories. People used to visit Shiva temples, but they may be ignorant of the Nayanmars. That shouldn't be the case. That is why Mr. Saravanan and Mrs. Saravanan, they have made this program. I request you to recommend this program to others also. It is only very in simple English. There are so many words not available in English for our Saivam, but some or other I am trying to catch up with the language, and I am trying to explain in whatever way possible this episode. So please be kind enough to tell about this program to others also, and you can also guide them to watch these English videos also. With this I am just concluding. Let everybody get the Guru Arul and Thiruvarul. Tiruchitrambalam. தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.